All right, ladies and gentlemen, the Animal Farm launched today. I'm going to tell you about the good, the bad, and the ugly. First of all, if you saw my previous video, there was and if you read through the comments, there's a sizable misunderstanding. And when I put up the video, I thought maybe I'm the only one that missed this. Obviously, if you read the comments, other people missed it as well. In fact, I heard a YouTuber today basically saying, "Hey, everybody who misunderstood, now you just had to trust in the developers." And then he's like, "Well, admittedly, I kind of sort of misunderstood it some as well." That's okay. That happens. If you saw my video, I did get banned from Telegram. I am still banned from Telegram. I know 3 YouTubers that was streaming the voice chat today, so I was able to catch that through there, which is totally fine. Here's the good, bad, and the ugly. Let's start out with the ugly, and I'll go to the good. The ugly is we were supposed to launch at 11 a.m. this morning. I had 2 appointments that I had planned to take care of that I actually had to cancel and move because we literally didn't launch this thing until about 4:30. And it was kind of wild because something was going on. We obviously won't know yet what happened behind the scenes. And I know that Forex the developer, was going to do a live stream, and he'll probably explain some of what was happening. I know at one point it looked like there was probably part of a bot attack going on. If you saw like early on when they were trying to add liquidity, it's like all these bots, you could see the transactions and they were clearly bots. And they were trying to do a bit of a bot trap to stop the bots from interacting with the contract and this sort of thing. And that's all super good. I mean, kudos to them for trying to prevent bots from manipulating the contract. All of a sudden, a couple hours goes by, and then Forex Shark comes on, and he's like, he's going to talk. And then when he gets done, it's going to be this 30-minute thing. But his talk, any of you who've listened to Forex's AMAs, 20 minutes becomes 3 hours quick. And he was talking and talking. And at one point, he literally was reading. He read everything on this page right here. He read it. And it was wild because in my personal Telegram, someone was like, is he just reading the website? And then someone else said something about, is he going to read the bullet points or something? And then I literally was drinking something to drink, and I almost started spitting it up when I literally heard him reading the bullet points. Because at the time, we thought he was going to launch right away. He basically said, hey, I'm going to come on, I'm going to talk a little bit, and then I'm going to launch. And it was weird because even the live streamers who streamed today, everybody had the same idea of what was going to happen, and it didn't launch like that at all. Normally, he comes on, he talks, he preps everybody at launch time. He preps everybody, then he comes on, and there's like a little 30-minute countdown timer or whatever, and then it launches. Today, that didn't happen. He basically went into another AMA, and I listened to that one. I think it was a Moonshot Telegram. He talked in there, and then he moved over. He was going to go live in the Animal Farm Telegram, but I kept being told it didn't start. And by that time, I found a streamer, and that's the first streamer I was listening to, and he was in there, and it wasn't starting. And it didn't start for like a good hour or two, and everybody kept waiting. Even the guy who's one of the biggest holders in all of Drip and the Animal Farm, and he was like, I don't understand what's going on. This isn't going the way that I thought it was going to go. And finally, Forex comes on, and he says, he leaves a comment. He basically says, I'm going to come on, talk for a few minutes, and then we'll get ready for the launch sequence. And when he comes in, the way he started his talk, he basically said he was going to give a short talk, and then it was going to be a 30-minute countdown. But his short talk became a long talk, which is okay. Forex is long-winded. It is what it is. But I'm thinking then there's going to be a 30-minute timer behind this, but then the 30-minute timer didn't start. And we still had another hour or two. I mean, it was, ladies and gentlemen, it was painful. Like, it was crazy, absolutely crazy. I think the worst part was the lack of communication on what was going on. And it leaves you wondering, like you're stuck wondering. I mean, most of us, a couple people on my Telegram was like, is this a rug pull? And most of us felt confident it wasn't going to be a rug pull. I mean, that's just not, Forex hasn't done that ever. So most of us was confident that wasn't the case. But it just leaves you wondering. And at the first couple of hours, I thought, dude, they're probably trying to fight off bot attacks. Like, that's probably what's going on. But the good news is it finally did go live. And let me grab the chart for you. All right, so this is what happened. As we expected, the original price was, it was in the pig token at listing was like $20-something, and it ended up at $31, and that's where they were trying to add liquidity, and it looks like they were trying to blacklist some bots that were coming in. And so for a long time, the price for the pig token sat at $31. The price of the dog token sat at $17. And the amount of people that were upset because they didn't understand the liquidity and how Forex Shark was going to add liquidity, that was never really explained to anyone, how an automated market maker works and that sort of thing. And so, and I get it. Like I got the explanation after it was explained. At least I got the gist of it. That's neither here nor there. The point is, when they finally released liquidity, the price skyrocketed. And here we are at 934. Now, there's something going on with dogs. They stopped the trading with the dog token. I'm not certain what that's all about right now, but that's been stopped. However, the pig token price is just pumping like crazy right now. And the reason, I believe the biggest reason for this, and I expect it to go up a bit more, is because of this pig pen. So right now, and I don't know how accurate these numbers are because all this is brand new. So it's possible there's some numbers that aren't fully accurate. What I can tell you is what I'm getting paid out of here. It hasn't even been 40 minutes. I ended up adding more pigs in here, and I've got $6.79. Well, someone in my Telegram calculated that they were on track to earn about 6% per day at the rate that we were earning. And so I think that's going to cause this price to keep pumping. I'm not going to be surprised if we break $1,000 here soon. In fact, I almost named this stream Pig Tokens over $1,000. I still may name it that because before I get done, it might be over $1,000. But if you come over here and look, it says there's $310 million in TVL. I don't know yet if this is accurate. If it is, it's an enormous number. But I think these two numbers are accurate for now, and that's the BUSD rewarded and the BUSD in the vault. So this BUSD reward is from everybody coming into the farms, and this BUSD reward is what you're seeing here in the pig pen. So the idea is we're getting a percentage of the revenue for staking our pig tokens here in the pig pen. And right now, it's really high, and ultimately there's going to be millions. None of the liquidity from previous farm level, layer 1 farm, none of that liquidity has been added yet. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, when that gets added, this is going to be, the rewarded BUSD is going to be, these two numbers here are going to be crazy. I mean, there's millions of dollars, to my understanding, are going to come in here. And there's millions of dollars that's going to be going out buying these two tokens off the actual market. So I don't know where this goes. Those of us who come from layer 1, the big complaint was that we were not going to get, we weren't getting our value at listing. And that's true. That did happen. But the pump, we got a little bit, now we're $1,000. There we go. I didn't even finish the stream. Look at that. I just want to see what I got in the pig pen here. So just to give you an idea, I came in with about $12,000 in USD value. It's currently $18,000. Now, where does the price go long term? We'll have to wait and see. There are people claiming today, when I was listening, they were claiming that, in fact, I'll go ahead and tell you, it was Drip Guide on YouTube. If you know who that is, go check out his channel. Drip Guide claimed today that this was going to replace PancakeSwap ultimately. Now, you got to know, unless you are fully ingrained into the drip culture, you think that sounds extraordinarily far-fetched. And today, Forex himself said the roadmap showed them overtaking PancakeSwap. I know that sounds crazy. Now, I'm not going to tell you they're going to overtake PancakeSwap, but here's what I am going to tell you. I'm going to ride along for the ride. At this point, I've made a profit. So this is passive income. I'm along for the ride, and I'm excited about it. Oh, we pulled back a little bit. I'm excited to see what happens. Even if they don't overtake PancakeSwap, that's like a 10-year plan or something. In 10 years, Binance Smart Chain might not even exist. Crypto moves fast. But even if they don't overtake PancakeSwap, what I do think is that they may be the best farm, or I will say the secondary farm, or that mid-tier farm or whatever. When you think about all of the token farms that exist out there, what people like to call degen farms, where you're able to farm a native token, I think this is going to be one of the best, if not the best one out there. And the reason I think that is because there are mechanisms in place and to help support the native token prices. Let me show you this real quick. This is part of this is ingenious. It truly is. This is the admission rate. Right now, we're starting at the max emission. So when you come into the farms, all the farms are going to be set at max emission. Every farm except 3 emits the native token, the dog token. And there's 4 levels, right? There's a maximum rate, there's a pegged rate, a restricted rate, and a deflationary rate. And basically what they did, and this was smart, they looked at all the farms that exist from SushiSwap to Uniswap, all the way, the Goose Forks, the degen farms. They looked at a lot of the farms, and they looked at the ones that have been able to have an inflationary token that maintained price, and they looked at what is the emission rate of that token. They did some complex calculations based on volume and emissions, but they wanted to try to figure out if they could find out what is the perfect emissions rate to maintain value. And once they found that, they set that at the pegged or the restricted rate. And then 25% above that number and 25% below that number is the deflationary to the maximum rate. And the idea is when there's not a lot of demand for that token in the various farms, then what happens is the emission rate is dynamic and it pulls back. And it can actually turn into a deflationary token at that point. And if you do that, you help control the supply. The two fundamental factors in economics to maintain price is supply and demand. So if demand is low and you can decrease supply, what happens is if you're a yield farmer and you see, hey, this token is in the deflationary area, that might mean it's a good time to get into the farm because there's a good shot that once at some point when it's done deflating, once it gets to the right spot where it meets demand, then demand for the token will pick up, price will pick up. And when price picks up, demand picks up, and again, this dynamic emissions rate will continue to move up and down. Now, we don't know if this is going to actually work. It's an incredibly smart tokenomic on a yield farm, probably one of the first that's existed. So it's great to be able to see this. Same thing with the pig token, except the pig token is much more limited, a lot slower to be emitted. And the only way to get the pig token is in these three primary pools here. The DRIP BUSD pool, the DOGS WBNB pool, and the DOGS BUSD pool. And by the way, these aren't accurate yet because I think they've paused the dog contract for now. These three farms emit the pig token. With the pig token, you stake it right here, and we earn these rewards. And the idea being that you are a revenue share owner. And I say revenue share owner because this becomes a DAO. You'll be able to put proposals down here and that sort of thing. So you basically, it's a governance token that's going to have some true governance. All the time, like there's so many of these platforms that are like, it's a governance token, but there's no governance model in place. And as you can see right here, they got this ready to launch right away to start governance. There's only 9 members on here. It may not even be open officially yet. But this is going to be, dogs token are trading again. That's good. So this is going to be very interesting. This whole project, I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be a part of it. If you want to get into the yield farm, I'll put my referral link down into the description. Listen, the launch of this thing was a cluster by far. Make no mistake about it. There's no way to candy code it. There may have been important reasons for it, but those reasons were not communicated. People were waiting hours. But the reason we were waiting hours, even if you go look at my previous video, where I talked about getting banned, even if you go there, in that video I said, hey, this thing still may be very profitable. And if you go down in the comments, somebody was like, I didn't like that. I had the same misunderstanding, but I think this thing's going to print money. And I agree, that can absolutely happen. Again, nothing in this video is financial advice, but that can absolutely happen. In the world of yield farming, I'm glad to be in the animal farm. And I appreciate you for being here. Thank you so much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. I will tell you right now, just a quick heads up, I told all of my newsletter subscribers, and you can subscribe to our newsletter in the description. I told all of our passive profit income newsletter subscribers, I did a video a couple of days ago, and I told them my specific strategy. And for the most part, I was able to stick to that strategy today. The difference is I ended up I was in the stablecoin pools, and I left the stablecoin pools because they're not paying as well as I thought they would. As you can see here, that's the single staking pools. They're actually paying okay. But the stablecoin pools just were not paying great. It looks like they may have lowered the emissions, or there's a lot of funds in there, or these APRs could be wrong, maybe. But I saw how well the Pigpen was doing. And let me just tell you something. When you have a free floating price and you could be making 5 to 6 to 7% per day, I mean, I expect price to get to the point this is paying out about 1% a day. That's just maybe 0.5% to 1.5%, somewhere there. But 6% a day, more people are going to be buying that pig token. So I jumped in, and at the time I came in at like $750 per pig token. I thought it was crazy high. Now that's not all these, about half these. I came in at about $750 for about half of them. The other half I had. So we'll have to see what ends up happening. It's going to be fun. Just a heads up, I'm going to be putting out a video. I had a full conversation with the Olympus DAO policy team based on my last Olympus DAO video, where I said that Olympus DAO was basically a scam, and I talked about that in the video. Someone reached out to me and said, hey, can I put you in contact with the Olympus DAO policy team? They did. I had a very fascinating, very interesting, very long conversation through Discord with their policy team. And I'm going to be sharing that with you in another video. So make sure you subscribe down below. Click that bell notification icon, and I will see you soon. Thank you again. Decentralized cryptocurrency equals freedom. This is Crypto Wealth. I'm out.